Just Cause 3 is a game about pulling insane, death-defying stunts while destroying everything in sight with spectacular fireball explosions. The problem is, both the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 versions fail when Rico Rodriguez's over-the-top action heroism needs them the most. When the explosive fireworks and hilarious, delightfully destructive chaos kick off, Just Cause 3's frame rate often drops well below 30 frames a second. And when the frame rate drops, it's much harder to defy death as you're piloting one of the many helicopters, jets, or cars. Or stay in the air when you're using the fun but touchy wingsuit. When you die, you're subjected to loading screens that can last 90 seconds or more. After a few hours of that, I found myself afraid of another stint in that load screen penalty box. I began playing conservatively, avoiding crazy stunts that require precise timing or triggering massive explosions in the heat of battle. And when you're playing conservatively, Just Cause 3 just gets boring and frustrating quickly. The task of liberating dozens of towns and capturing military bases by blowing up anything with red on it, knocking over statues, and taking over fortified police stations is pretty repetitive, even when it's at its best. And if you're not able to exercise your creativity in the sandbox by doing crazy moves, like using your grapple to fling explosive barrels at enemies or crash helicopters into things to keep it interesting, it's a pretty dull third-person shooter. Enemies this dumb aren't much fun to fight in conventional ways. Likewise, the strength of its enormous open world is undermined by startup loading times that can brush up against 4 minutes. And when it crashes on you every so often, you get to repeat that. Plus, the beautiful vistas don't look as beautiful when they're smeared by low frame rate motion blur. The problems seem a bit worse on the Xbox One than the PS4, but they're both pretty bad. At its best, Just Cause 3 kept me laughing out loud on the regular. It's a damn shame all these performance problems keep cropping up, because I love what Just Cause 3 does with its amazing sense of mobility and physics-based humor. But for a game that's so heavily dependent on action, to run this poorly is no laughing matter. For more on Just Cause 3, stick with IGN.